Theod's traces of hominid existence in Switzerland date to about 150,000 years ago. The oldest known farming settlements in Switzerland, which were found at Gechlingen, date to around 5300 BC. The earliest known tribes formed the Hallstatt and Latène cultures, named after the archaeological site of Latène on the north side of Lake Neuchâtel. Latène culture developed and flourished during the Late Iron Age from around 450 BC 34, possibly influenced by Greek and Etruscan civilizations. One of the most important tribal groups was the Helvetii. Steadily harassed by Germanic tribes in 58 BC, the Helvetii decided to abandon the Swiss plateau and migrate to western Gallia. Julius Caesar's armies pursued and defeated them at the Battle of Bibracte, in today's eastern France, forcing the tribe to move back to its homeland. In 15 BC, Tiberius later, the second Roman emperor, and his brother Drusus conquered the Alps, integrating them into the Roman Empire. The area occupied by the Helvetii first became part of Rome's Gallia Belgica province and then of its Germania Superior province. The eastern portion of modern Switzerland was integrated into the Roman province of Rhaetia. Sometime around the start of the Common Era, the Romans maintained a large camp called Vindonissa, now a ruin at the confluence of the Aar and Reuss rivers near the town of Windisch 36. The 1st and 2nd century AD was an age of prosperity on the Swiss plateau. Towns such as Aventicum, Aelia Equestris, and Augusta Raurica reached a remarkable size, while hundreds of agricultural estates Villi Rustici were established in the countryside. Citation needed. Around 260 AD, the fall of the Agri-Decumates territory north of the Rhine transformed today's Switzerland into a frontier land of the empire. Repeated raids by the Alemanni tribes provoked the ruin of the Roman towns and economy, forcing the population to shelter near Roman fortresses like the Castrum Roricense near Augusta Raurica. The empire built another line of defense at the north border, the so-called Donau-Iller-Rhine-Limes. At the end of the 4th century, the increased Germanic pressure forced the Romans to abandon the linear defense concept. The Swiss plateau was finally open to Germanic tribes. In the early Middle Ages, from the end of the 4th century, the western extent of modern-day Switzerland was part of the territory of the kings of the Burgundians. The Alemanni settled the Swiss plateau in the 5th century and the valleys of the Alps in the 8th century, forming Alemannia. Modern-day Switzerland was then divided between the kingdoms of Alemannia and Burgundy. The entire region became part of the expanding Frankish Empire in the 6th century, following Clovis I's victory over the Alemanni at Tolbiac in 504 AD and later Frankish domination of the Burgundians. Throughout the rest of the 6th, 7th, and 8th centuries, Swiss regions continued under Frankish hegemony Merovingian and Carolingian dynasties, but after its extension under Charlemagne, the Frankish Empire was divided by the Treaty of Verdun in 843. The territories of present-day Switzerland became divided into Middle Francia and East Francia until they were reunified under the Holy Roman Empire around 1000 AD. By 1200, the Swiss plateau comprised the dominions of the houses of Savoy, Zähringer, Habsburg, and Kyburg. Some regions Uri, Schwyz, Unterwalden, later known as Waldstätten, were accorded the imperial immediacy to grant the empire direct control over the mountain passes. With the extinction of its male line in 1263, the Kyburg dynasty fell in AD 1264. The Habsburgs under King Rudolf I, Holy Roman Emperor, in 1273 laid claim to the Kyburg lands and annexed them, extending their territory to the eastern Swiss plateau.